And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neal.
That would make me terrible, Troy.
And we're joined by Tommy McLoughlin, master of horror, musician, and hopefully all-around cool guy. Welcome to Without
Try
Your
to
Head.
be. I try to be.
And a busy man, from what I found out.
Yeah, it's definitely, everything's kind of all at once when things suddenly people go, you know what, that thing that we talked about? Yeah, let's start working on it now. And suddenly you get 6 of those that'll happen at once.
Then you get like 8 different people saying the same thing.
Yeah. And then it got a crazy thing that literally just happened. Tom Matthews, who was my Tommy Jarvis, went to some horror con and got the rights to this book. I don't know, is it backwards or forwards?
No, it's forwards anyway. Oh, wow. All right. I'm sold right from the title,
Yeah. Well, that's the rub. It's like, okay, we know what we're going to get. What are you going to do? And kind of like, as I said to him, I don't want to do like, as much as I enjoy trauma films, not that kind of, holy gosh, it's inflatable dolls. I want to somehow make it almost believable, but just more, kind of screwball in that the characters are believable, but the situation is just crazy. And so, and kind of have some fun. And the effects, of course, are going to be way over the top as they need to be. So I'm hoping that it'll be a lot of fun. And I don't know if you know Vincente, who did the Hills. Oh, fuck, what's it called?
The Hills of Eyes remake?
No. The Jason stuff. I don't know why I'm blanking on this thing. Never hike alone or never hike in the snow.
The fan film, yeah.
Yeah. So he's like going to be, producing it, and we've got some people kind of coming aboard, and we hope to raise the money in a number of different investors and types so it's not just fan base, because that usually takes quite a while. To pull together. So we'll see. I mean, as I said, so one of the 6 that I'm rolling.
Uh-oh. We lost Tommy here momentarily, but I'm sure he'll be back. But yeah, this is very cool to have Tommy. We're going to have him on last time, but I won't bring it up, but something happened with his dog, unfortunately.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah. So, if Tommy, if you can hear us, you've gone black here. Hopefully you didn't get sick of us that quick. Usually it takes people a little bit longer than, a few minutes. Oh, there he is.
Okay, so sorry.
Yeah. I was like, wow, you got
one of the other
really
5
quick.
people got you.
Yeah, I thought I was making it disappear, but it answered it, so.
So, actually, since you brought up, I was going to ask you about fan films. What are your thoughts on fan film?
You know what? I think it's one of the greatest things that has happened since sound and silent movies, in terms of an innovation. I mean, when else have we ever had people who were fans who love a particular film or series of films, a franchise like Friday was, that go, you know what, fuck them. Let's make one ourselves. I've always wanted to direct. I always wanted to write, whatever. And then people put their money in and, they get credit for it and they put these things out. And of course, the whole thing is you can't, make a profit, it's got to go to some charity or whatever. And some of the charities are very cool. So it kind of was, to me, a wonderful, innovation. And some of them were really good, and some were just crazy, guys in the backyard with a camera doing whatever. But, it still was that thing that I thought, you can't do that with a James Bond movie. Oh, you mean you can? I did one at 7 in the back lots of MGM as a kid. But, other than that, I mean, it's like, this is something that's pretty doable, with the forest and, the mask and kids and coming up with your effects. And some of the effects are like, holy shit, that's really good. So I just thought it was great.
Yeah, it's a good way for people to show what they could do. Then they could go on to do something else too. And fans of the franchise, we haven't had, a new Friday the 13th in decades. So you get something for everyone to watch.
Yeah. And now it's coming like I don't know if you've seen all the stuff for like the new game is coming out now. I just saw a couple days ago, and there's another, I guess, movie of some sort that they're doing.
Series, the one about which I am interested in, the series about the mom and it's like Jason and the mother.
That's right.
Like before the first one.
Crystal Lake. And Crystal Lake is well, actually, me and James Sweet, who did one of those fan films, Jason Rising, got together at one point and started to work on what was called the Diary of Pamela Voorhees. And it's basically that same idea of from Jason's birth all the way until Jason and Mom, go to Camp Crystal Lake. And so it kind of, ends on that note so that you could pick up on the very first Friday and kind of, continue. So we, of course, were shut down. I tried to get a hold of Victor Miller and did talk to him, but he was sort of like, I can't hear the pitch. My lawyer said I can't hear it. But this is kind of what they ended up doing in their own way. I don't know exactly what they're going to, turn out with it. But I mean, that's A24 and that's NBC. And I mean, and who Brad, who's doing the show running, who also did the Dairy series.
Oh, wow.
I thought he did a fucking great job.
I love that. I thought they did such a good job.
Yeah. And so if he's doing this and he has the same sort of sensibilities with the Jason story, and I know she's good, Linda Cardellini. I worked with her in a movie called The Unsaid with Andy Garcia, and she was great. So, they seem to have all the, the right cards to make it work. And meanwhile,
that's an untapped part of the Friday 13th is, how she became, the mom, like how she became the mother we see in the first one,
Yeah.
And really what happened, how Jason, because in the first movie he's dead, in the second movie he's alive. So to find out like the actual lore there, I think there's a lot of interesting stuff you do. Tara has joined us.
Hi,
Tommy. That's what we, James and I got so excited about, because we started it like we were just going to do it as a film. And then we wondered if we could even do it, as a fan funded film. Yeah. But there was so much material as we started to go through it. It's like, no, this has got to be a series because, it goes from, 46 to 56. So that 10 years, she's carrying around this kid, this deformed child, and it's right after the war. So there's still, this country was in a lot of unrest about, the Russians going to drop the next bomb. What are communists? Is that person a communist? Is she and that kid a communist? Right. So to go from town to town, and then of course, being a diary, it's the narration. So you hear her go from kind of a messed up 16-year-old to a pure psychopath, with a little bit of sociopath in the middle there. But anybody that, puts her down, puts the kid down, is going to be as, brutally killed as what we saw on the first Friday, because, she really was intense and we never saw her do it. So our idea too is that Jason is sitting there watching this, taking all this in, so that it really sort of grounds it. Now, some people probably would say, I don't want to know the backstory. I'd rather just not know, is he devil? Is he what? But I, obviously coming from years of doing TV movies and things, you have to get into backstories and characters and depth. So going into it that way, I thought, the idea of getting into the head of a basically female serial killer in the 40s and 50s kind of was interesting to me as a way to go, and not just watch, somebody kill. But, it's all, we can't do nothing about it now. That's they got there first. We couldn't move forward because we didn't have the rights. So that, and then I have a Jason script that I wrote called Jason Never Dies, which was Jason in the Snow, something we've been talking about for years and years. And I finally said, I can make this a sequel to my Jason Lives by just setting it 13 years later, setting it around near Thanksgiving. And there's a weekend retreat, Christian retreat at the lake, at the camp across from Crystal Lake, Christian Lake, and Camp Christian Lake, I'm sorry. And basically, kind of have people who don't know who he is, into this arena. But the whole idea of having it be like a freaky storm, so that it's like John Carpenter's The Thing in terms of being enclosed and that, that heavy of a snow. Yeah. And
also, when you mentioned the snow, because when we had CJ Graham on, he mentioned that you really said that like you saw your Jason as like Frankenstein. And it made me think of the end of Frankenstein. He goes up, into the North Pole and to freeze or whatever. So I kind of like that idea. It's kind of the continuation of Jason as Frankenstein.
Yeah. When I got the job, it was sort of like, so much stuff seems to have happened. And is he really dead? Well, no, it's somebody who's impersonating him, and they wanted to get rid of that. So bring him back from the dead. And it's like, you have any ideas? I go, yeah, just one, Frankenstein. This is what we know. So as much as everybody calls him Zombie Jason, I don't look at him as a zombie. I mean, I even had the sheriff purposely shoot him in the head. And you see the bullet go in there. He don't go down. He's not eating brains. He's not doing any of the things that we sort of established or what zombies do. But still, it looks to people like, he was dead. He's back. He's a zombie. So, but I just wanted that monster. I just wanted him to be, like the good monsters that we all grew up loving. And that was the age of, obviously Freddy and Pinhead and Chucky. And, so all that 80s had a whole new breed of monsters.
Mm-hmm. Did you get any pushback for that? Did anybody like, oh, we can't bring him back from the dead? Or did it just kind of give you free reign to do what you wanted to do?
I was probably one of the luckiest son of a bitches that could come down the pike with this, because they were in a bad place. They were in a place where, instead of making one of these every 2 years, because of what the reaction was on part 5, they wanted to jump into production right away, within a year, and get that out and get people to realize, no, Jason is not dead. Jason is not going to be Tommy Jarvis, So it was like, bring him back. And it's like, well, what else do you want? Whatever you want to do. I said, well, I'm going to put some humor in it. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you're not going to make fun of Jason? No, fuck no. No, he's going to be a monster, but I want the characters to have a sense of humor about it and sort of scare each other with the idea, oh, Jason's out there and stuff. So hopefully you like these people. You laugh at some of the kind of in-jokes. I didn't realize I was doing meta, because there certainly wasn't anything like that. But I was also the asshole that turned down Scary Movie, which was Scream. And I started reading it and I went, I kind of did this satire thing. This is good, but I don't want to follow, that with another one. So when I met, not Wes Craven, who Wes ended up doing, it was great. The writer, what's his name? I just he just did a new Scream.
It's not like we do a horror movie show here.
Yeah, right. God, my mind keeps going to Wes. It's not Wes. It is.
Is it Kevin Williamson?
Yes, sir. Thank you
because
so
he
much.
The last one too, I believe. Yeah.
Right. So, great guy, really nice. I had a meeting with him years later, and as I was walking out the door, he said, I got to tell you something. Your Friday the 13th had such an impact on me writing Scary Movie, which of course became Scream. I said, yes, I know it very well, Kevin, and I didn't jump because I felt I was somehow doing a different version of what I already did. But God bless you guys. You got a hell of a long franchise out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Tara, how old? Well, you don't have to say how old, but because I assume you saw Friday the 13th Part 6 later, because Tara wasn't really watching horror movies until she was an adult. So do you remember when you first saw Friday the 13th Part 6 and what you thought of it?
I do. I was very shocked. Where I'm just like, I had never really watched a lot of classic, slasher films, the one, like the Italian ones. I've never seen any of those. I've never seen any of the slasher movies. And when I started watching the Friday the 13th movies, I watched this one and I'm just like, oh, who made this? Like, these people are so edgy and cool. Whoever did this, they're the coolest people ever. Like, they have the best taste. No one's ever going to be able to recreate this again. So I loved it. And also, you have great hair, Tommy.
Oh, thanks. Well, I got kicked out of 6 high schools here in Los Angeles in the 60s because my hair was just like touching my ears, and still they would kick you out for being, a rebel. And I had a band, and, we were opening for The Doors and Iron Butterfly and Pink Floyd and all these groups. And we were 15-year-old kids. But, to either look like a jock or to look like me and get called names, I would rather have that and have the girls screaming, when you're on stage. So, that was the option. But yeah, so I've all these years, I can't seem to leave it alone. And come 2010, we got the band back together again and started to perform and tour and did an album and things. And then COVID went and killed that part of the career. So I'm putting together a new band. We just did a couple of the cons, and it's called Horror Rocks, ROXX. So it's all songs from horror movies that,
sweet.
So if you're a metal fan, if you're a punk
That's
fan,
perfect for the conventions. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So Ramones, all those bands we love, and
music too,
yeah, it is. And people, even if you've never saw the movie, it's like that song. If you saw the movie, it's like, oh fuck, I love that.
Oh, that's perfect.
Bill de France says, you played the Gardena Cinema.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
James Balsamo's in your band, right? We're all friends here of James.
Oh,
Balsamo.
sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, he was. He actually, after we did the last show, he decided that, he wanted to leave and create his own thing.
He's big time.
Too cool.
Yeah. But yeah, he got these guys together very quickly and got out and started playing. And he's doing much more of like, that was it death metal kind of, because he's got that voice for that. And then he brings in these guys with costumes and all this shit. So it's very elaborate, but completely different than the direction, I was going in. I was still doing a show, but because I was a magician and a mime and effects and all that shit is sort of, wrapped into, the performance.
Yeah. Do you still know any magician tricks?
I do. Yes,
nice.
I do.
Did you ever perform at the Magic Castle?
Actually did.
Really?
A couple of times. Both doing some magic, but mainly I had a group called the LA Mime Company that Dick Van Dyke saw, and we were on his series.
Oh, wow.
And so for me, it was amazing because to write sketches for Dick Van Dyke, and then the next week it's Lucille Ball and Dick Van Dyke. Then it's Freddie Prinze and Dick Van Dyke. And then it's
character. That's awesome.
So, being this 26-year-old kid just doing, comedy, to have these legends. I mean,
legend is sometimes like overused, but not there. That's like real, like Hollywood legends there,
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's still in me. I can't kind of get out of it. And one of the projects I'm working on now also actually involves a mime, and it's pretty dark and twisted, but it's a way to kind of go back into that world that I once
and it's about time because we get a lot. We've had a lot of clowns, but we need an evil mime out there.
Yes, absolutely. The time is right.
I mean, miming is it's so much more harder. Much more harder. Sorry, it's much more hard than people think. Like, it's like basically you have to be the best dancer ever and have so much control of your body. And I think that's so cool, Tommy, that like outside of your directing, you have this whole life of like being an artist at such iconic times and getting to meet legends. And like you were a part of that. And that's so cool. And I'm so jealous.
At the time, people say, did you know that time was special when you were in it? I went, yeah, when you go to the Monterey Pop Festival and you're sitting in the first row with only the press in front of you, and you're seeing Jimi Hendrix for the first time, The Who, Otis Redding, Simon and Garfunkel. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and I just sat there, with my friend Chris Mancini, who we had a band together when we were 13, 14 years old. And his father was Henry Mancini, who of course is a legendary composer. And he didn't want to go because he normally goes to the Monterey Jazz Festival. And he said, this is a pop festival. You guys want the tickets? It's like, yeah. So of course they're front row. And I just went, after seeing Hendrix, I went, that's it. My life has just changed. I want to do that. So I had already been a magician. So that came in. And then as we got into 69 and LA got pretty ugly with the Manson murders and all the heroes, Jim Morrison, Janis, I mean, on and on. So many people overdosed and died at 27. I'm going, should I keep doing this? Yeah, I just got to be different. So I went to Paris and studied with Marcel Marceau for a year.
Wow.
So I came back with those chops so I could do all that stuff that he did, but I didn't want to be the white face mime. I wanted to do something a little more contemporary. And that's kind of where the Mime Company came out. And then just did a ton of commercials and that sort of thing, where I poured wine while Orson Welles spoke, just
man.
all these gigs, so if you ever get a chance to pick up the book that Joe Maudry did on me called Strange Idea of Entertainment Conversations.
I definitely will.
With
Yeah.
Tom
I'll have
McLoughlin.
to look for that one now. That's great.
Because he's right. I mean, I had a kind of a Forrest Gump existence where I just happened to be, at some place where somebody was. I mean, I went by a magic store one day and I couldn't get in because the door was partially closed. And I kind of peeked in, and there's Muhammad Ali sitting there doing magic tricks with the owner of the place. And he went, good, good, good. So for the next 20 minutes, the champ did magic tricks for me. And I kept wanting to pinch myself. I'm dreaming this. This can't be real. But, but all those things, all have that kind of, wow, it's wonderful when that kind of magical thing occurs, just happen to take the right path at the right time. And other times you sit there for years going, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
Were you always a horror guy? Like, how did you get into, how did you even get the chance for the Friday the 13th part 6?
How did I get the gig?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, if I go back, because this has been, I always love to tell the story. What was the thing that made you get excited about horror? And I said, I was 4 years old. I was sitting on the toilet reading my comic book. My dad slowly opened the door, and he had this grotesque mask on, and he just stuck his face in. So I just saw that, and my mother was slapping him on the back. Don't do that, you can. But I saw he was laughing, and the next thing I knew, it's like, yeah, it's pretty funny. So then I started torturing my sister and everybody else with horror stuff, and so and all the Universal monster movies here in LA used to run on Channel 9 at 9:00. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because they have the rights. And they would just repeat. So come Saturday, you knew all the dialogue, they were now your heroes, so that sort of stayed in there. And that influence obviously went on to, the Jason movie. And then when I was like 11, my mother had a mental breakdown, which was fairly tragic. And suddenly I went from childhood to, I got to take care of the 4 kids below me, while she was away. So it was that sort of thrown into a very surreal world where your mother's no longer your mother. There's like another entity in there that's not her, and going to meet her on the weekends and being surrounded by these people that were like, what's your name, son? Oh, Tom. I'm William Shakespeare. Have you read any of my work? Yeah, I heard of you. Oh, good. What did you hear of? Romeo and Juliet, I bet. Yes, sir. I mean, crazy people. Marilyn Monroe was actually at that same hospital, which I didn't know till years later. But that was a great turning point to suddenly go, okay, there goes Peter Pan. The boy has to grow up. But I spent the rest of my life idolizing Peter Pan, and that whole idea of the kid that doesn't want to grow up, and it sort of sticks with you, good and bad. But there's that thing of just wanting to discover things when you get involved with them, and it's like, why does that happen? And that's again that sort of artist just need to kind of shake up the tree and see what falls out, and you get hit in the head, you get hit in the head, or you catch it and it's great. Who knows?
Wow.
Let's see. Ape Traits. I'm sorry. I saw the part 6 deleted storyboard featuring Jason's father. Can Tommy tell us a bit more about Jason's father? What role would have he played in the story?
Yeah, in that book, I think there's some pictures, and there certainly is a supplemental thing on one of the, maybe a couple of the DVDs now, the Blu-rays and stuff, where they actually did the storyboards with the old caretaker. And in the movie, I didn't kill him, initially. I was keeping him because he was going to meet Jason's father at the very end of the movie. And I had a really evil looking, almost Svengali kind of face, that I wanted to have on him, so that you sort of get the sense of, Pamela's not evil, but Dad sure was. And he doesn't say anything. He just realizes when he's looking down at the grave that his son is not in there,
Mm-hmm.
See Jason floating down there. But that Frank Mancuso Jr. gave me on the script was, I love the idea of Jason's father, but I don't want to run into what we just went through with, oh no, it wasn't really Jason. Oh no, Tommy Jarvis is going to be Jason. Oh no, is the next time going to be Jason and Dad? So he said, if you don't mind, I just need to have you take that one element out. And I said, well, you've given me everything else, so okay. And then years later, I get a call, about could we use them in a fan film, which was
cool.
that whole Vengeance, series that they did, and CJ ends up playing, Jason's father. A little different than what I envisioned, but the whole idea of that, Jason and Jason's father being one and the same in terms of portraying, I thought was great. And then they threw me in as the caretaker, so I could look at the camera and say, some folks have a strange idea of entertainment. So, and it was great fun, working with those guys up there on those two movies.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say,
of course,
I'm sorry, ever since you said this, Tommy, I can't get it out of my head. I love the idea of Jason in the snow at Camp Christian Lake.
Yeah.
Like, what? That would have been so cool. Like, that could be its own separate film. And I would watch that and I would love that. Also, that's a great idea. That's so fun.
Yeah. I mean, what I did was in the beginning, it says, because I wanted this to be called, Friday the 13th, Jason Never Dies, the lost chapter, because this was what would have happened from, part 6 to part 7.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that jumped pretty quick. I had it figured out some place it could have fit, but it was in
before he goes to New York.
Yeah. But these were in these Catholic archives, and it was a manuscript that they discovered when they were tearing down the church. I got a hold of it, and I made a story out of this particular chapter. So things that I do in it, I'm not bringing any of the baggage from the previous films, go into Manhattan or getting chopped up into bits or any of that stuff. I just said, this is a standalone thing. You can believe it or not believe it. This is what, we have no documented proof, but this is the story. But I wanted to have that kind of freedom to be able to do different things, different types of kills. And of course, the whole snow thing brings up all kinds of problems because you can be seen when you're running, you have the snow tracks, and they've got to be cleverer than the kid in The Shining, to get him off the trail.
That's exactly what I thought of, actually, when you said about the snow was the end of The Shining. Yeah.
But as you know, blood looks really cool.
Of course,
in the snow. Why did this never happen? Like,
I couldn't. It's a great painful part of one's show business existence. For almost 30 years, can't believe I'm saying this, I kept having people at conventions and stuff going, why you never do another one? To go, I don't have any good ideas. If I did, I would. I came up with, Cheech and Chong meet Jason right after, but they didn't want to do that. And then when that went viral, even Cheech and Chong said, that was kind of like a good idea. We should have done that. But Frank at Paramount wanted me to do Jason meets Freddy. And New Line would not give up the rights, so they couldn't work out a deal. And I had no other ideas at that point. And I said, as soon as I have something, I'll let you know. But it took almost 30 years before I suddenly went, wait a minute, if I delay him and basically make it not Crystal Lake, but a different camp, and what if it's religious and they know nothing about this, but these are all teenage girls, all badass, cutters, chronic masturbators, all the stuff that this Irish nun, like very much like a nun I had back in Catholic school, is just one mean son of a bitch. And they do something to her that's really hysterical. And then Jason comes in the midst of all that. So it's a very unusual dark comedy. I wanted it to be different, but I had no rights. I couldn't show it to anybody. Paramount wouldn't read it. Warner's wouldn't read it. And, Blumhouse and Jason at Blumhouse kept saying, yeah, I want to do one. And go, here's one. No, we can't do that one. So once all the smoke cleared and basically Sean supposedly got the rights to do Jason with the mask and all that, I thought, okay, he's the right candidate. And then Victor Miller had this, incredible lawyer who just hung in for all those 10 years or whatever so that he could be producer. And they got the old investors from the original Fridays to get involved. And then they got A24 and stuff. So that they became like, okay, we own all this. And then somehow they've got the Jason's mask in there. So when I saw Sean, like maybe 6 months ago or something, I said, I still got this script.
It's 6:30.
You know, I'd love you to read, Sean, because I think you would like it. And he goes, you know what? I can't do any more lawsuits. I'm so tired of this shit. I don't know what they're going to do. So, you know, and I said, well, what about the title? No, you know, New Line and Warner still owns the actual title. That's why it's Crystal Lake and not Friday the 13th. So it is caught up, guys, in so much stuff, you know, that I couldn't even, as I said, get anybody to read the script. Like, you know, you don't have the rights. You can't do it. If you try to do it, we'll sue you. Right. So, you know, that's what shut down the game too, is once those guys started making money, you know, it's like, hold on, stop, cease.
You know, everyone loved the game. That was so huge.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I had no idea it was that complicated.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and it really was. And
bitch about stuff, but then they have no idea what is going on behind the scenes and like how complicated all of that is, like the rights.
And I do see people who really attacked Victor Miller, but at the same time, you know, he created the, you know, he wrote it. So, you know, I see everyone's, you know, it's, I don't think it's always so clean cut. Like this guy deserves everything. This guy deserves everything. Right. You know?
Yeah. I mean, Sean definitely did not want to give him a penny on any of this. He was, you know, he was the powerhouse. For some reason, he had nothing to do with My Jason Lives. I don't know why, because they were all like Horror Inc. and we were Terror Inc. And so they created a different entity for it. So as far as I know, I don't even know if he even saw Jason Lives. I have no idea, because he was so kind of lost in, you know, this, you know, he kept, you know, doing another protest whenever the court would say, no, you know, this guy, the rights revert back to him after 35 years. And Sean's going, no, I've got paperwork someplace that, you know, and it whatever they signed, it was true. So he really had to acquiesce in one way or the other. And how they got all these other rights in the middle of all that, I don't know. But, you know, it's like the way our country's being run right now. If you're not rich, good luck.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
it's the billionaires club.
Victor Miller, do you have any kind of relationship with Victor?
I do. I had enough of a relationship that I literally did one of the big forbidden things that you're supposed to do in show business: call the person at home. And he's like, Tom, you know, I said, I have to talk to you about this. I know you guys have finally, congratulations that you won this thing. If you're going to tell me of something, I can't listen to it. I go, I'm telling you, if you just hear what this is, if the script hasn't been written, if you say the script has been written, it's like this, then I'll go away and I'll never darken your phone again. And, you know, and he was being really nice and saying, you know, well, I don't know how long this is going to go on. I mean, I'm 83. I'd certainly like to spend some of the money that I'm going to get paid after all this. But no, I really can't listen to, you know, any of that at this point. But they already had their core group that was together, you know, in terms of the investors and all that. So they had, you know, their own ideas. And what's his name? Fuller, Brian Fuller, you know, came in and was show running it. And they started in a kind of, I guess, a different direction how they were going to do the Crystal Lake thing. And then for whatever reasons, I've heard so many different ones, but the one that, of course, is the safest is it was costing too much money for A24 per episode to do. So they needed to say, no, you know, all those people out, you know, the new regime came in with Brad. And so I've heard good things. I'm hoping so. But I also saw a picture of a frozen Crystal Lake with, with Hersted. And I go, well, there goes that idea, because it's not fresh and new if they're going to do it. So it's just that thing. If I would like to say I could have sped it up some way and got in there, but those rights were, you know, lawyers, anybody I talked to said, forget about it until they work this out. You know, there's nothing, nobody's going to do anything. These guys got to figure it out. So, you know, it's just time. So I just eventually, you know, licked the wounds, said maybe one day something might happen. Who knows? Maybe Blumhouse will get the rights and somebody, you know, it's very confusing. And did you guys see that, what they call it? I want to say Sweet Revenge, Sweet Vengeance or something. They did like a 13-minute short Friday the 13th that came through the Jason Universal thing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Check it out. I mean,
yeah.
Because it's 13 minutes and most of the fans weren't thrilled. The Jason was smaller than what we normally see. He was clean, all cleaned up. There wasn't anything, it's like
I remember this when it came out now, because I remember people, on Facebook and social media, they were not into it.
Oh, okay.
But the thing that killed me was every other shot had this apple cider in. They had apples, they had the sign, somebody's drinking it. Oh, wait a minute, I'll go, and it was to me, it was one big 13 minutes of, product placement.
Yeah.
So who in that gang owns it? What corporation has made that thing happen? So
Jason says, drink Angry Orchard.
Yeah. There you go.
That's pretty wild.
But it is. I mean, it's a real cash cow for everybody. And that's why I think it just suddenly got filled with people who are not fans. These are people who see this as, a great source of money and holding on to this and taking it as far as you want to take it. Even Mr. Fuller was saying to me that they were going to go all the way, take it all the way through to redo the outer space stuff, all of that. I said, seriously? Go, yeah, if we keep going, if people keep watching. So we'll see. If it's like Bates Motel, they've got something. I know that worked. And if people don't go for it, or the market's getting so saturated now with so much Jason stuff that I don't know what the real fans, the ones that come to these conventions and it's like, look at this. Remember that scene in your movie? Wait a minute, let me show you back here. And I go, dude, you're gonna lay in a coffin with that thing. Yeah, and I'm proud of it. And I mean, these are hardcore people, literally all over the world where we've gone. And it's like, wow, he really represents something to that generation that mainly saw that shit on VHS. When they were young and sneak over to their friend's house and watch it all night and then get back in bed and and I love that. I think it's amazing because I certainly didn't think that was going to ever happen. None of us did who were making that stuff in the 80s. It was like, okay, it's a job, we're going to do it, get it up. But sometimes another generation finds it and it's their discovery.
Hey, you did your job right.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you.
And I think that's you don't see that in a lot of other genres of movies that like the movies get like new fans continually, but in horror you see it a lot where new people are always finding these other movies where because like I watch old Siskel and Eberts because I grew up with them, and there'll be movies on there were up for awards, everyone loved them, and I was like, man, I either barely remember this or like I don't remember it all. But then like these some weird horror movies and stuff like just continue and find new audiences.
Yeah, well, the thing again, I stumbled into brilliance on this, not even realizing it. I was just saying I can't do the 6th episode of something without having some kind of sense of humor with it, but without making fun of it, just having the kids like it, or opening like I did with the James Bond thing, because I thought that's the only franchise where it just keeps going. Why not take that image, but put the machete in there? And that thing keeps being shown over and over. The main image that you see of Jason is with that pole that I yanked out of the fence that stands there, CJ's stance and stuff. That's the sort of iconic Jason image now. And, I'm very proud of that, and how many lakes have a floating statue of Jason at the bottom of the lake.
So true.
I mean, it's crazy shit, but, it's nothing that I, obviously all the rights, everything, Paramount has, so there's no money in it. But it's just sort of that thing of, I love when people just, God, that was my favorite movie and I still love it. And so that's kind of the reward.
I was going to bring it up. It is considered by a lot of people their favorite of the franchise as part of it.
It's shocking. I mean, if somebody asked me, I say part 4 because I thought
it actually is mine too. No offense, but part 4 is my favorite. But
and then the first one, which wasn't Jason, was also a really good surprise after watching the Halloween ripoffs. That they did. All the Tom Savini effects, the fact that it wasn't a man that was doing it, it was a pissed off mother. all that I thought was great. And then the rest of them, were fine, but there were so many of them. If I'd go in and pitch a story, they'd go, yeah, that's good. That's kind of cool. I like that. But what about, some isolated place? I mean, you don't have to do a forest, it could be a desert. It can be, the moon. I don't care, and, we got to have some naked scenes in there. I mean, because that's what the guys like. And they got to chop them up, some way, somehow. I mean, if you got anything like that. And I said, no, don't got anything like that. I'm sorry. So when I was offered the Friday, I went, and they, and of course an agent going, this is going to open in this amount of theaters in August. Are you crazy? And I said, I just want to, I'm working on a comedy now. I just don't want to stop to do a slash. You know what? I won't make it a slasher movie. He will slash, we will dice, but every kill in there you cannot imitate. You can't turn a head and tear it off. You can't punch out a heart. You can't cut 3 heads. So all of it, I thought, it's not imitatable. So that I sort of kind of came in with my own little morals. And people said, well, why did you have no nudity in it? And I go, you think that's me making that decision? It's in the script. She has her top off. But Darcy on the day said, do you really need this? Because I'm really uncomfortable. And I went, you don't want to do it? He goes, I go, forget it. All I care about is the comedy here. And I mean, if I'm spending the whole time looking at the scene going like this, I'm not going to be laughing. I'm going to be looking at yours bouncing there. But people came after me. It's like, why'd you take that out? I go, I was maybe ahead of the curve, basically saying if the woman is not comfortable.
Because we've interviewed a lot of people who didn't always have great experiences on some of the other sequels. And so I actually respect that. So that was good. I mean, it just seems like the decent thing to do to begin with.
Oh, yeah.
And, the great thing about all that, all those people, all that cast, we are still friends. I mean, before I got on this call, I got a text from Darcy about something. Tom, Jason, everybody, Tom Fridley, all of us just stay in touch pretty much weekly. It's not, monthly, whatever somebody's doing. And when the nerdy guy, Whitney, the paintballer scene, if you remember that. He got cancer. I was at the hospital with him. Here's a guy that I'd worked with in comedy for years, and watching him go, and and I thought he's not leaving behind the kind of the legacy that he should have. So I just went out and got the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, Entertainment Weekly, all this stuff. And it just so happened that it was on a slower news week, and he got this massive amount of publicity and people going, yeah, I love that and stuff. Wow. And it was a real honor to be able to do that, after the fact, but at least that was the kind of friendship that we all had, that, we were really, and still are, very supportive of one another. And if somebody gets a convention, it's like, I want to talk to them about you getting in there. We got to be all together again. So that's been incredible, really incredible.
That's so cool to hear. Yep. That all this group of artists still talk to each other. That's so cool.
Yeah. And get each other jobs too, which is also pretty amazing.
Yeah. Vagina Wrinkle wants to know, how did Ron Palio become involved in Jason Lives?
I have one of my other best friends, Mike Hawes. So I used his name, Hawes, for this character. So I was sort of picturing somebody that's sort of like him, but needed to be a little more of a kind of nerdy kind of character than my friend is. And so we had people reading. And what was great when Ron came in is he just has this, as you know from Welcome Back, Kotter, this character that he does, and he's really sincere. And then I'm starting to look at him and Tom Matthews, and I'm going, James Dean and Sal Mineo. It's that same sort of look, Scythe, everything. And Sal Mineo was all nervous and stuff. Jimmy, are we going to do this? And I thought, well, that's sort of cool because it goes back to, movies certainly that influenced me and everybody else. So it all kind of worked. And then he was terrific. He came up with a little swizzle stick thing that he kept chewing on nervously. And, and that's the thing, is you get the right cast, and they, any other ideas you have for this? Well, I don't, this is stuff you wrote. I go, no, we writing it. We're doing it now. This is the next draft. And then when I'm editing, that's the next draft. But, and when Tom Fridley did that whole little thing with the kids, the boys standing around him, and he's talking about the Indians and the squaw and all the rest of that. That was one take, one improv. I said, thank you, Tom. That's great. Next. And it's like you hand the ball off when you know somebody, really is gifted at something like that. And he's a very funny guy. So things like that kept kind of happening along the way too. It's, hire people that know comedy, and, you can do something serious, but it'll be funny because the person is, understands humor.
Was there any of the scenes cut down from the censors? Was like heavily censored?
I went into this thing with Frank Mancuso saying, I'll tell you right now, you're going to have a hell of a time with anything that's gore, anything that's distasteful, anything that's sexually, they went through all kinds of shit with part 5 because Danny Steinman came out of porn. So that was really what he focused.
Yeah.
He really focused on that. And so the censors went after that as well as the gore aspect. So I said, you know what, I'm going to shoot this like 3 ways. Every kill, I'll have the full out X. I'll, try to do like a hard R and then an R. And every time they give a note, I'll switch up the takes so that it, hopefully they won't notice. Still, even with that, what I thought was a brilliant solution, we still had 9 screenings for the motion picture ratings board because they kept nope, and you're going, what do you want? And we finally got down to the 9th one, and it was like, yeah, that sheriff bending backwards. I mean, that is really intense. I said, there's not a drop of blood in that thing. That's a comedy routine I did with Dick Van Dyke, years before. I just stole from myself, and that was funny because he was going to a chiropractor that bent him all the way back like that. And this I was doing for horror. So they made me take out 2 intercuts, one to Jason, one to him, and then suddenly they were fine. So they just were picking on us like crazy. Siskel and Ebert gave us a very bad review, and towards the end of it, he goes, we didn't even watch this. What's the point?
Beautiful.
It's all the same. Yeah, it's all the same. Later
they were notoriously really hated slasher films. I remember you as a kid, and anyone out there's not seen it. Like they would even give out like people's like the producers like names and stuff to like go after them.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah. It was like we were doing really disgusting, horrible things and corrupting not just the nation but the world with this horror stuff. Yet, we all watch it, and I went into this like, okay, this is a fun house. This is a roller coaster ride. This is, hopefully you get into it and you get scared just because these are sort of scary moments for some character that hopefully you like. But it's not just celebrating, whacking somebody, to pieces.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was part 4, and Ebert talked about it like like a generation of kids will grow up thinking this is what life is about, and I was like, who the hell watches Friday the 13th movies and think this is what life is like about? Like, exactly. We watch them to have a good time, not
exactly.
This is what's going to happen when I grow up.
Yeah.
We made it through all the old Warner Brothers cartoons without dropping safes on anybody. So I think we'll be okay.
That's funny, Troy.
So you're in good company that way. The EC comics in the 50s when they did the seduction of the innocent and we got to stop these comic books because all the kids are going to be axe murderers and so you're in good company when it comes to that.
Well,
does it surprise you at all? I'll go on, Tommy. I'm sorry.
I got one story involved with that I thought was kind of an interesting, positive, negative kind of, choice that kind of happened depending on the person's viewpoint. I was watching some documentary on HBO years later, and it was about kids who kill. And they got to a particular kid, and they were interviewing him, and he goes, "What was going through when you were killing your close friend's mother?" And he says, "I was Jason. I was just Jason. I didn't have any feelings." And then they cut to my poster and slowly zoom in. And I'm going, no. But that was the poster that they got a hold of. It didn't matter for them. Then, literally about 2-3 months later, I was directing a comedy show with my friend Stephen Banks up in San Francisco. And when the play was over and people were leaving, a guy came up to me holding the program. And he says, "I talk to you a minute?" And I said, "Sure." And he goes, "You're the director of this?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, I see you did one of the Friday the 13th, you know, and I'm a psychologist. And I go, look, that was just a fun ride. It just, it was not about, you go, hold on. You did a wonderful thing, because when I have group sessions with kids who are violent, we put them together, we put these masks on them, and we let them beat the shit out of pillows or whatever. We get that feeling out of them. And behind the mask, it's not them, it's something else. So as far as I'm concerned, that whole idea of having it come through a kind of a faceless energy, it's not necessarily wanting to copy that as much as it's, yeah, you know. I didn't like when they were cheering for women to get killed, or, you know, come off his balls. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that some of the crowd would do. But that was so minimal compared to the people that just wanted to go and have a good time and get a pizza afterwards. But to hear both sides of the coin there, where one guy thinks that was a wonderful thing and somebody else, you know, says that's why this kid killed. And it's not. I mean, these people, everybody has some fire. Sometimes the gasoline gets poured on from, you know, Rob Zombie song, and so they blame it on that, or, you know, the Jason movies or the Freddy, any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think if you have that in you, you're going to find your inspiration in whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, you know, you get, especially, you know, all those years of doing TV movies where I was doing true stories about serial killers and, you know, just people who were sociopaths, that they could be so great and murdered brutally, you know, wife, family, whatever, and they could pass a lie detector test. I mean, the needle would just float there, and it was like, no, I didn't do it. And you go, fuck, you know, all the evidence shows you did it. Everything is so clear, yet, you know, they can lie and believe the lie so well, they can pass a lie detector test, which is not, I don't think, as admissible as it used to be, as that was the thing. Now we got DNA and all this other stuff that we can, you know, kind of find who did it or whose prints are on it. But it's that thing of, you know, when I start talking to people on death row and say, you know, like one kid who imitated one of the characters that I did a movie about, Lori Dan, who was a very unbalanced girl in Chicago who, you know, at the end of the story, she goes into an elementary school and starts shooting at the kids, and, you know, didn't kill anybody, but certainly wounded them. And Valerie Bertinelli, who was, you know, sort of the darling to CBS, they wanted her to do it. And they wanted me to do it, wanted to reteam us again, because we had done 2 other movies together. And both of us said, nope, we're not going to do this. Nope, it's too heavy, too intense. But finally, I said, well, wait a minute. If we show when she was a little girl and kids were teasing her and she was very shut down, and every time, you know, somebody said something to her, or you saw her fist, you know, clench like this. And I thought, what if when she's in the school and these kids are running around panicking and stuff, and she has a gun in her hand, that she just starts going like this, you know? And so it's not a conscious effort. It's just like screwed up. Somehow that made it okay for both Valerie and I to do this, you know, in-depth study of this woman. And it was, to me, again, you start talking to the husband and all these people, it's like they don't see this thing coming. They didn't have any idea. She was seeing 3 different psychiatrists, being treated with 3 different types of medications. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's like it still happened. You know, there was no change, and this was inevitable. Something awful was going to occur. But this is the thing, of course, that's got all of us scared about what's going on in the country. Is somebody going to suddenly push the button, or are we going to be smart enough not to go that far? I believe in history. It seems like we stop it before that happens. And then other times, like, you know, Dr. Strangelove, you know, when they made a comedy out of it.
We're in very different times than any ever before.
But the thing that's coming up, I don't know if you realize, and, you know, when he's talking to Peter Sellers about fluoride, you know, you know, and he does his whole speech. That's all coming back in again, as that's something that has fucked all of us up for years. And you go, are they telling the truth? Are we supposed to be afraid? You know, all the shots that we got in the 50s, you know, we still got scars from that, because every time it came out, polio, we got, all right, boom, all right, whooping cough, boom, you know. Who knows what was going into us? And that's why a lot of people, I think, rebelled about the COVID thing. I don't want to put something in, I don't know what it is. So it's, we're always trying to protect ourselves from something like that. And it's hard to know if somebody's just doing it for the money, or, you know, if there is evil. And I certainly have talked about this with a lot of people. You know, is somebody born with that? or is it something that's learned and socialized or from past, experiences that they bring that in. So, big, heavy, dark subject. I'm sorry to go off on that, but
no, that's very deep and interesting.
But
China Wrinkle, $5. Thank you for $5. Not only is Friday 13th 6 the best in the series, but my favorite opening to any horror movie next to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thanks. No question. Just a big fan.
Yeah. That's great.
He's right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Obsession yet?
Oh yeah, that I have. I don't think Troy and that's I've been saying that. I think that's my favorite horror movie so far this year. I thought it was fantastic. Yeah,
absolutely. And I didn't know going in that this was a 26-year-old.
I didn't know that either until after. I was like, this is really inspirational.
20 days and under $1 million. I mean, he's beyond royalty, for doing something like that, because that's been the big problem. Well, we don't want to make your film unless it's really, really cheap or whatever. And these guys made very cool YouTubes for years. Somehow the stars aligned and they got this opportunity and they delivered. And I went twice, because the first time I watch it and just see, what I feel and what the audience is doing. And then the next time I wanted to go back, sold out. Wait a minute. The next night, all sold out. And now I'm in the Glendale, Burbank area. There's a ton of AMC theaters and stuff. Only the front 2 rows you could get the next night. So I went, fuck that. I want to be in the back and I want to watch people. I want to see, that the only thing that matters to me, do you love it? And they love it. So it's like he did something right. And what he did right was he made it about the characters. The plot is so simplistic, but
it's kind of classic monkey paw, idea.
Exactly. Which is why in the beginning I wasn't all rared up to go see it, but I thought, no, I got to see everything. I got to, go. And luckily I have a girlfriend who loves horror. So, if I say at 11 o'clock at night, you want to go to the movies? What? To see this? Oh yeah, let's go. So
that's fun.
That's great.
Yeah, that really helps. But I really admire this guy. He's done a great job.
I didn't know it either. And then then I read about him in his last movie, his first feature he made for $800, a found footage movie.
No way, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's been a few people like that now in the last couple of years who YouTube people, and then they make cool stuff that people follow, and then they get a chance to make something.
Yeah, good for them. That's great.
You were talking about it sold out, so it came out last week. So I thought when I saw it this week, because I go every weekend and see all the new movies basically. And I do the AMC app, and so I got my ticket the night before, and I got the back like I always do. And then when I got there, I was like, "Wow, someone picked their seat right next to me. That's kind of lame, but whatever." And then the place completely filled up, and I was like, "Oh, this is
that's great to see, though."
Yeah, especially for the second week of the movie, because usually the second week, unless it's some giant blockbuster movie, there's not that many people there. And the reaction was great. And then when I was leaving, it was a lot of younger people, probably high school, or not high school, probably college. And I did hear a lot of the girls, they were just like, "Oh, that was so depressing," and but they were all into it, and that made me happy that it affected people. I was like, it was cool to just go to the movies, and there's the place is packed, and
you always know when you go out in the lobby if everybody's buzzing, little groups, and I love that. I mean, it's like, what did you think? What did you and you know what I love? I mean, that's what it's supposed to be about. People. I had a wonderful mentor in Frank Capra who said, it's a people to people medium. If they like the people, they'll like the movie. If you don't like the people, you start to get bored, because it's like, I don't give a shit about this. And he really did that rule perfectly. I mean, it's amazing. And most of them were friends that he's been working with. And I don't know if that was a casting thing they brought, but she's the superstar out of all this too, because that was a hell of a performance. But she's very upfront. It's like I was doing Mia Goth, from Pearl, and that was movie should have been awarded. Because she was fucking brilliant as Pearl, But all that screaming stuff was very honest and really came from something. So it wasn't just somebody screaming. There was real anger and edge in that.
Mm-hmm. But it's nice that a lot of horror movies are getting used to be if a horror movie is up for an Oscar, it's no longer a horror movie, now it's a thriller or something. But we actually see things getting nominated and winning, so that's nice to see.
Yeah. Well, I'm so old. I go back to, when I saw The Exorcist, I was fortunate to be at that age where I saw it within the first week when people were still passing out, when there was an ambulance out front,
Yeah.
when Blatty and Friedkin were out there with coffee and cocoa to give to people and things. I mean, it had such a presence, wherever it was, and you leave and people in the lobby, like bent over, and I mean, it was amazing. But then when it came to Oscar time and those performances, Ellen Barst, and Jason Miller, all those things, there was somebody that was head of the Academy who basically said, "Do not encourage this. We do not want this kind of a movie." I don't know how it didn't get an X, how it got through and got an R, and blah blah blah. So it went to The Sting, which is of course wonderful, sweet, nice, Paul Newman, Robert Redford movie, great on its own level, but kind of tossed The Exorcist aside. And it wasn't until Silence of the Lambs that finally people went, okay, you can't deny those were hell of a performance and an involving movie, but pretty nasty too, pretty gnarly.
Oh, yeah. That was one though. They really they stopped calling it a horror movie. That's when they kept saying it was a thriller, and and then not really anything again for a long time after that. But now it's really opened up. So.
Yeah. Well, you guys must see, even in your generation, how there was a few things here and there, and then suddenly now there's 80 things on Netflix every month, and all the other. There's so much stuff to see to try to keep up with it.
It's a wild time to be alive,
Yeah. And it's great because you see so many different things. Some is not as good as others, but a lot of it, I'm really impressed that it's as good because there are fans who've been with this, grew up with it, all have editing machines, all have cell phones. They can make it look great. I taught for about 10 years at Chapman University, Dodge College. So, the guys who did Stranger Things came out of that school, and all they ever did was 80s references to all their movies. And all the other professors were going, boys, there's other kinds of stuff. And it took them 9 years before Stranger Things happened. But guess what? They
kind of knew what they were doing.
Absolutely. And the same guy who did the Smile.
Oh yeah, I like Smile a lot.
That's a super cool movie.
I like both of those, Smile and Smile too. Yeah.
But yeah, he really nice guy. Sat around for 11 years taking bits and pieces of jobs and stuff, and finally said, I got to make a short film. I got to, and he made, I don't know if you've seen it, the short version of Smile, which is really impactful. Yeah. He gets it into a film festival. COVID hits. Boom, that's it. So I think he put it on YouTube or something. Somebody saw it, who got it to somebody, who got it to somebody, who got it to Paramount, and they went, "Can you write a feature version of this?" And it was like, "Yeah, do that." And so they took him through a number of drafts. Then they make the movie and they put the trailer in front of Top Gun. Now, if you remember, when COVID was over, Top Gun was the movie. Everybody went. But everybody who saw Top Gun saw Smile trailer. And so, bam.
It was great marketing all around for the Smile, Smile. They were showing people's reactions to the trailer and all that stuff. And it was good marketing. And I thought the movie's great too. So.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind of underrated as a movie.
It seems like psychological horror is really, I guess, in fashion right now.
Yeah.
But I will say that I don't know. And this is the one question I wanted to ask you, Tommy. Where it's like, how did you direct Jason to be so rough and violent? Because so many people try to make slasher films for the past however many years, 15, 20 years, but the slashers just seem like they're holding back a little. Mm-hmm. But in the movie you made, he does not hold back. There's no hesitation. There's just something about it that just feels like this person doesn't care who I am. They don't care. They have no feelings. I'm going to die. They're going to kill me no matter what. So my question is, I'm just really curious, what directional notes you gave, what vision you had, how did you make it be so aggressive?
Well, a lot of that had to do with C.J. Graham. He is ex-military. Anytime I gave him a direction, it was, yes, sir. He stands like this. And I went, he's Terminator. That's it. There's no intelligence. There's no decision. All he knows is this kid dug him up. He was more than happy to stay down there. Nice, peaceful, he never wanted to, be what he wanted, what he was. But once that happens, I'm going after this kid, and anybody gets in the way, they just get, put aside. He wasn't like he was angry at these other people, or they were like even the sex thing, that used to be the rule. Have sex, you die. But when I had him come out and first see it, he did the old Michael Myers tilt to the head like dogs do, like what the fuck, and then he pulls out the electricity and he plays with them a little bit before, he does these crazy kills. And initially, I would, that paintballer guy had a Uzi, with all his other stuff that Jason ended up getting from him, there was an Uzi. So the first early draft was when he went into that motorhome, he just like, and just blew it. And I went, hold it. What the fuck am I thinking? That is not the way this guy's going to get rid of people. Anybody can get a gun and do that. No, it's got to come up with something else. And that kind of forced me into this idea, which ended up working with him pushing her face, into the metal and her face staying in there, or Cord saying, hey, Nikki, listen to this. And he turns up this Alice Cooper song and Jason goes right into his ear with the listen to this.
Oh.
So both dark, humorous things, but far more memorable than just shooting up, like Rambo. But, so there are times where you just go, all right, you got to play him like this, and there's nothing going to talk anybody out of it. And even when Tommy's trying to stop him from going to the, the final girl, to Megan, he's yelling, hey, asshole, hey, it's me you want, remember? And he's like, oh yeah, it like brings him back around to the focus. But it was giving both of the lead characters an agenda. Tommy fucked up. He's got to get him back in the grave or put him back to where he originally died. She, just kind of ended up going for the ride, but she actually saves Tommy at the end. If she didn't go in there and do him mouth to mouth, he wouldn't have made it. And Jason, was one note, and Tommy was one note in terms of what they're, what they needed to do. So it drove kind of the story forward. It wasn't just kills to be kills. There were other things in the way, but he still had that, focus on what he wanted. And, so it was, a vengeance kind of movie, but vengeance over getting dug up. And I took that off of all the great Universal monsters because, Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein says to Dr. Pretorius, love dead, hate living. And Dracula says, to be dead, to be really dead must be glorious. And the Wolfman, he didn't want to be the fucking Wolfman, so there's always that sort of lament that I'm not enjoying this. It's a curse, to be put at that. So I kind of wanted to borrow a little on that too, as what the monster came from.
And I think the idea of where he's captured at the end, he's instead of like trying to kill him at the end, he's like stuck down there. I think that kind of adds to that feel too. Like what was the decision there? And did anyone tell you have to try to they have to kill him?
They didn't. I mean, that's where it was incredible how you would give them. I gave him the script, and it was like the only note was that thing about Jason's father. Yeah. And then while we're shooting it, I said, no, I'm not, I don't want to do the machine gun. Oh, okay, we'll do whatever you want. I mean, it was amazing. So that, I just thought, every movie they try to kill him and they say he's dead. And of course, if you don't cut to him with his, looking dead, he's not dead. So I didn't want to do any fake out. And I thought, well, what do we just, if they want to make another one, great. You know where he is. If not, every time you go swimming in a lake, somebody could grab my foot, ocean with shark, lakes or Jason.
Yeah. Did you watch the sequels after yours, 7, 8, 9 and all of them?
Well, here's the thing I hate to admit, especially to the hardcore, slasher fans. I saw part 1. Initially. I didn't see 2, 3, 4, or 5 until I got the job. Then they said, okay, what do you want to do? I said, well, first off, I want to see all of them back to back. So they set up a screening room and I sat there and, made notes. Okay, well, that didn't answer that. Okay. And I tried to pull as much stuff in terms of the history so that there would be at least, if you've never seen one, you can see that movie and basically know where he came from and the mother thing and stuff. And then that there was a little more of a sense of humor about the fact that, you know, we don't call it Crystal Lake anymore. No, it's now Forest Green. So the adults are trying to cover up something, you know, so that the kids won't have to live that awful, you know, legend. And so that was the, you know, kind of the conflict too between father and daughter, and, you know, the sheriff and Tommy. You know, Tommy's just some crazed kid. He knows that Jason was a real thing, but he is not going to acknowledge it until he's forced, you know, into it.
Wow. I've learned so much. And I'm going to tell everyone I know everything you said. And I'm like, I heard it directly from the source.
I love it.
I do have a question about one of the sequels, because in Adam Marcus's, you know, Jason Goes to Hell, because you said you don't see Jason as a zombie, and in that one it's established that he's a deadite. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting because I've gotten very close with Adam.
Adam's a really nice guy.
He's an incredible guy, and he's incredibly learned, and I think he's probably you know, the best director out of all of us schmucks, because, you know, he's still doing it. He's still working with actors and teaching and so on. And, you know, he's just really smart. And he unfortunately got with Sean Cunningham because Cunningham's son was his best friend. So when they were going to do the thing, and, you know, I guess Cunningham really didn't want to have anything to do with it. So it's like, hey, you know, give it to your friend. He wants to make movies. And I think Adam was like 20, 22 or 21, something like that.
Yeah.
So he had his own sort of voice that he wanted to do with it, which I say that's great. You know, if you can figure a different way to make it work, do it. But then Sean stepped in at some point and started to override his decisions and to do things that he did not want. Now, I've not seen his documentary yet, but, you know, I really want to see it, because supposedly in that he makes it very clear what he wanted and what got changed and things. So even looking at it now, I'm still not sure, you know, what was his vision and what got changed. But I knew it got, you know, brutally attacked by a lot of people, which I did not think it deserved. And I think, you know, he had so many, you know, clever things in there. But it's that thing of, you know, don't fuck with our heroes. Don't, you know, I'll take you Sly as Rocky, and I'll take you as Rambo, but don't get in there and try to be funny, you know. And they, you know, and that's what he loved to do. He loved, you know, doing humor. And he is very funny in those movies when he has little asides and stuff. And it wasn't until that, what's the one where he's got all the guys together and they're one big force of men.
What is it?
I never saw it.
The Untouchable, not Untouchable.
Something like that.
Yeah. You know, Troy Stallone and all those guys in the movie. How come I can't think of it?
Expendables. There you go. Yeah. The Unfuckables. But I think they've done 3 of those.
Everybody, I think so. Yeah.
You know, so he got a franchise, because again, he's doing that note that everybody loves him to do. You know, but that's a sad thing in terms of putting somebody in a box. But at the same time, you know, we love you because of this, you know. And I can't tell you guys how many times in my life, you know, I'm going through shit and I cannot get past something. And that image of Rocky pulling himself up on the ropes on the last, you know, in the last part of the fight, you know, it's like, and everybody's going, stay down, you know, down. And he just gets up and I go, yeah, that's the image. You got to be able to have something that reminds you, just don't go down, get up.
He doesn't even win the fight. Not to spoil Rocky out there, but he doesn't win the fight in the first movie. Yeah.
But he did tell Adrian what he wanted, which was to go to distance, so everybody could see I'm not no bum. And that, to me, sometimes
that's true.
That's what you got to do. It's like, you know, you didn't get the award, but I really tried, and I can't lay in my coffin going, I didn't even try. I tried, it didn't work, wasn't right, path changed. Okay. So it's trying to find those things in life too to get you through those bumps, because they can be pretty intense, you know. And
so
telling you,
it's very great that you have you got a bunch of things in the works, which we're all excited about and excited for you. And so I know we went over a little bit of time here, but it was great having you on the show. And
sure,
cool to have you back sometime.
Great.
No, you guys are great. I love, you know, because again, I can't do anything unless you're listening and you're feeding it's like an audience. You know, if I like a movie and the audience doesn't, I go, well, I liked it, but I love when the crowd's into it, and I go, okay, even if I question it, they're loving this. So what did they do right? And I mean, that's what you keep trying to learn when you go for entertainment. You know, do I want to go back again? You know, did I miss something, or, you know, was it so much fun? I got to go on that ride again. So, so I'm so proud of these guys, you know, with Obsession. They've really hit a homer. Now, where he's going to get into the danger zone is he's already finished his next movie, but he's doing a remake of Texas Chainsaw. Now he's got people with opinions.
Yeah.
You know? So we'll see what happens if he can do, like, you know, obviously
that's a rough one, because there hasn't been in my opinion, there hasn't been some great reboots or whatever they want to call them of Texas Chainsaw. So
yeah, but you know, he's smart. He's
Yeah,
you know, he knows the genre really well. You know, it's the same thing with Mike Flanagan in The Exorcist.
Yeah.
He is a brilliant filmmaker and knows horror really well. So him doing The Exorcist is like, okay, you know, the other one didn't work, and the, you know, obviously other than 3, the other ones weren't anybody's, you know, favorite.
By the way, there's a great documentary I saw at a film festival. It's I'm going to forget the name of it, but it's a documentary about Heretic, Exorcist Part 2, and Borman. It's great. So it's not like streaming anywhere yet because it's just at festivals. But if you get a chance when it comes out, I'd highly recommend it to anybody who's who loves film. It's a really great documentary.
Yeah, I was heartbroken. Well, the whole audience was. They were throwing shit at the screen, man. They were so angry at the end of that movie that, you know, because The Exorcist was so massive. You know, it was a really hard act to follow. But I'd love to hear his side of it. You know.
It's Borman the Devil, it's called. And like so they interviewed Borman in it. He's still alive, but he's not doing great at the moment. But he's good in the interview for the documentary. And there's just stuff in there about like how much it kind of ruined his career for a while. I mean, he didn't think he'd make a movie again, and it did ruin the career of a lot of people in the movie. Kind of, you know, stopped them, you know, from doing much after that. So yeah, it's both heartbreaking, but kind of like we were saying about Rocky with Borman. It's like it's the idea of like not to give up, and then, you know, continuing, and then he does Excalibur, and then, you know, things go up from there. So.
Yeah. Well, next time I'll tell you the story about me doing The Exorcist prequel, because I was involved with that for 2 years. But that's a whole long piece.
We'll listen to as many stories as you got, Tom.
Yeah, because I also like to talk about sometimes they come back, because we're all King fans here, and
come back again, please.
Okay, I'd love to. Love being with you guys. You're great.
All right, cool. And where people can just put you in, they'll find you. But is there a place you like people to follow you? Not back to your home, but like on the lawn.
Well, I've actually set up my home, so I have a museum upstairs that they can go in.
I was wrong. Okay.
You want to spend the night? You can spend the night in Jason's actual coffin. And the front looks like something from Disneyland. It's all sort of English, like cottage that's made, looks like one person made it, but I hired an English architect to work it out so that certain point you run out of bricks, so you got to use stones. So, but there's a path through it, and I, you know, encourage kids. And come Halloween, I got 300 kids out there, and we put on this whole elaborate show. But, you know,
with the modern day actor,
you can find, but exactly. Spent a lot of time there when I was first starting, and my kids. I got a great picture of Forey with his arms around both my kids.
Oh man, that's so cool.
Yeah, but Facebook, you know, Instagram is. I think that I've got 2 of them. So one of them is Cinemime, CINEMIME. The stamp, and then just Tommy McLoughlin also on Instagram. So any of that stuff, I try to keep up with it. It's, you know, you guys who can get in, get out. I take so long trying to. What language is this again? I'm working with, because we came to it later, you know, and so you know, you guys are natives and we're immigrants coming in. So it's like it's still, but I'm forcing myself to do AI stuff, all the things that we were so scared of, and I go, you know, it's not going away. So you better learn the tools.
Yeah, that's what I've said, like, because I was against it at first, but then it's like, well, it's not going to stop. So why not learn how to use this as a tool? And the more I've used it, you can use it as a tool. And there is a difference between like AI slop, because there's a lot of that out there that's just kind of, garbage. But you could say the same thing about any form of art. I think there's a lot of, bad stuff of whatever it is. So there's definitely ways to use it.
It's a collaborator the way I look at it, except with a real collaborator, you get another point of view, and, they saw the first thing. How about, and I love that. I love throwing the ball back and forth. This is like, okay, change this, do this, and then they'll fuck up and undo something. It's like, no, put that back.
That's the worst part of it. I'm like, well, you can change the part that I really liked. I wanted this part changed.
Yeah.
But every so often, it turns out something going, I couldn't afford to make that shot as a sales tool for a movie.
Yeah.
And, I'm doing one that takes place in 1966 in Haight-Ashbury. It's just kind of a modern telling of the Svengali story. And I mean, the people, the faces, I mean, it looks so photorealistic. It's amazing. And I go, when I showed it to the person that hired me to do this, they went, my God, how did you do that? I go, I don't know. I just started putting in things and it came together. Sometimes it doesn't,
Yeah, exactly. When I first, I mentioned, I probably shouldn't have told anybody. I was like, I started doing, using it for some of the thumbnails, and people were like, oh, you should hire an artist to do all the thumbnails. And I was like, well, I've been doing the show for 20 something years. And so I've made like hundreds of banners, and it's very time consuming. And the idea that I'm actually going to hire someone to make every thumbnail is kind of, ridiculous, honestly. So, I mean,
well,
I made my own logo and stuff. So
this world has laid this on people who are artists, that you need to know all this stuff. I mean, when editors stopped just editing, they're also sound mixing. They were color correcting. Everything was put onto the editor to make something look like the final product before it's, the negative would be cut. So it's now happening with all of us. But on these phones, you can do anything you want, and it looks good. It really looks good.
It's helped to clean up some old interviews. Like we had Betsy Palmer on the first year we were doing the show, and the audio's not great because she's on like a landline and we're recording with Skype, and it always bothered me. And now with I can clean that up and it sounds great now. So.
That's wonderful. Oh, I've got to see that one because they're so hard to find anything.
Was such a good one.
Yeah, she was very cool.
Yeah, that's great.
Right, well, we will let you go. Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.
And be sure to come back.
All right, will do.
Hold them to it. We have a verbal contract here.
All right.
It was an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're wonderful. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, that was great. Well,
that was awesome.
Yeah. Tommy was awesome. And it's nice to have Tara back.
Yes.
Are we too close now? Is this too close for you?
Yeah, I feel like I'm too close.
All right, let's move this
back away slowly.
Back away.
There we go.
I'm gonna take a quick potty break.
All right, we'll play some something or other here, and then we will be back. We're gonna talk. I don't know what we're talking about. So
we'll
send
talk
some
about
questions, and we will.
We're gonna talk about possums.
Yeah, possums and popcorn.
Yeah, I like possums. They're very cool. All right,
I'll be right back.
All right, we'll play some trailers.
Thanks for fitting me in today, Doctor. I know you're like really busy. You have a nice office. Things are going really good. Found a new hobby. Yeah. I'm taking a butcher's class. And getting really good at using the knife. It's really nice to find my calling. Because I always thought it was music. But I'm finally figuring out what I'm really good at. It makes me feel alive. People say I'm dramatic. I don't think I'm dramatic. Quite the opposite, actually. I mean, I can get a bit aggressive, but who doesn't, right? I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm finally becoming the person I was always meant to be. I really love you. I like pretty little things. You think I'll ever be normal? Think anybody will ever love me? I think that's all I've ever wanted. Is to be loved. The sad thing is I don't think I ever will be. But they'll know who I am.
And where on earth would a girl like you want to work?
I don't know. How about maybe a beauty salon?
A beauty salon? What would you even possibly know about beauty?
What's wrong with working in a beauty salon? Other girls work there.
Yes, those kinds of girls. Your father, God. I bet he's rolling over in his coffin as we speak. Why can't you be more like your sister?
You got cramps? It's all well and normal.
Well, some pretty not normal stuff has been happening to me.
Here for any particular reason?
Poor Agnes.
What the hell is happening to me? You gotta help me. I don't know what to do. It's happening again.
Them vagina problems, they some fickle bitches.
Emily, truth or dare?
Truth.
What's your biggest regret?
I killed a kid once.
Emily, wait, you didn't lie? Like, say that you cheat on your boyfriend or something.
No, unfortunately.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, dude. They think I need help. Don't you?
You can't get to heaven. Can't get to heaven. On roller skates. On roller skates.
You know the other counselors?
Yeah, you're gonna love them if you love freaky weirdos and getting sloppy drunk. To another year. Cheers!
Can we show Emily the attic?
Yeah. Every time I hear her, I know it's almost over.
Are you guys all religious?
Religious? No.
God brought me to the devil and to my closest friends.
Joe, what's happening?
Tomorrow's a big night.
Why?
Full moon?
I just feel like I'm losing my mind.
Hey babe, want a blowjob? He's out. There's something evil here, isn't there?
Helmet cam on, LiDAR autofocus works, sound?
Our family really wants to know what is behind the secrets around my grandfather's past, and we want to help reveal whatever he probably hid.
The Troy is here. We have returned. It's good to have the whole group back. Well, AJ's still MIA, but it's good to have the trio back.
We'll hunt
here.
him down. We'll find him.
Yeah, he's actually working on a movie right now with Michael and Sophia.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
He's just a popular guy, you know?
Yes. He's like, I'm too big for these losers.
No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing. So we got so this week was a great guest. It was an amazing time. Next week, Christopher Bickle will be here, the director of Bad Girls, one of Tara's favorite movies for her birthday month.
Have either of you seen Bad Girls yet?
I'm going to watch it. I've seen it's odd. I think it's the only movie of his I haven't seen. I've seen The Theta Girl. I've seen Pastor Noter. So,
in my opinion, that's my favorite Christopher Bickle film.
Oh, okay.
It's so insane. Like the cuts, like it's really good. So please see it.
We will definitely see it. Thanks. We got a lot of our pals here in the chat: Vagina Wrinkle and Mikey B, and Dave Deadman and Bubba.
Deadman, please, for the love of God, please, everyone out there, watch Frankie Maniac Woman. It's one of the best.
Oh, such a great one. Yeah.
Oh, did we not have so much fun, all of us watching it?
Oh, without a doubt.
We had a great time. We watched it together. We have to do that again sometime. We have to watch something together. It was really fun. We haven't done that for a while.
But when you say that film had like some insane like Texas Chainsaw moment.
Oh yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
Oh. It's gory. It's crazy. The acting's amazing. Like
it's got everything going on.
A great character. You actually feel sympathy for her, and she's great in the movie.
Yep.
She is literally my favorite actress right now. Like, no hate or shade on any other actresses out there, but I'm sorry, she's killing it.
Yeah, she's literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like her range of expressions and emotions is, I don't know. Like, I was just sitting here watching it, and Larry was working and listening to it, and he's just all, I actually really want to see that movie. It sounds really good. And I'm like, Larry, it is really good. Anyways,
yeah, we loved it. Yeah.
I liked it better than most horror films out nowadays because it was so filled with like characters and emotion and style, and colors, and the deaths were funny. Like, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah.
Everything about that one. I like the music, everything about it. Just
shot really
around,
well.
Just great movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Out of control.
I got this hat yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Hat. Oh, I was going to tell you guys. Recently, over the weekend, I went and visited one of me and Larry's old, like, we've been friends with him since forever. And he used to go to acting class with Tipper Newton from Fuck Myself.
Really? Oh, wow. That's awesome. Another great guest on the show. Yeah.
He was all, I saw you do a post about someone that I used to take acting class with. Her name's like Tipper. And I was like, oh my God, like the lady from this movie? And he was like, yeah. Like she would always show up to acting class and she would have like these 50s dresses and it was really cool. So
sweet. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, my lady out there, Sunflower Dragon, got me this hat.
That's a cool hat.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
Pretty swell.
I like it too. Hi, how are you? Great interview.
Petrelli, the Paisan. With that,
that's it.
Hi. I really enjoyed the interview. Great interview.
Yeah. Tommy was awesome.
Yep.
I'm glad it happened now, actually, because I had it set it up before Tara, I believe, joined the show, and so I'm glad.
Oh wow!
What? That long?
Yeah, it was a while ago, and unfortunately, I didn't bring it up, but his dog passed away at the time.
Oh,
and then like things started.
I'm sorry to hear
and
that.
then we lost contact, and then I was like, hey, let's get Tommy on. That would be really cool. And so yeah, it worked out.
Oh
He was
yeah.
so cool.
He was worth the wait. That guy had so many great stories. I could have just listened to him all night.
I think last week actually was 1 year ago when Tara and AJ joined Without Your Head.
Woo!
Oh, cool.
1 year anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
That's my happy anniversary now.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, and then the week after that will be Dee Wallace.
Oh,
who's the mom from E.T.
The mom
Cujo.
from everything. Yeah.
She's
Howling.
She's the mom.
And it will be she's coming on to talk about the 40th anniversary of Critters. The 40th anniversary.
No way.
Oh, cool. I love Critters.
Yeah, me too.
That's pretty wild too.
Wow.
And then the week after that, I think we're going to do the zombie show.
Yes. I have my costume for it. I'm going all out. You guys better go crazy too.
I already have my my costume ready. There's just a few little things I need to tweak, and I'll be ready. I might not bring it as hard as you do, but Tara always brings it crazy hard.
I don't know. Your outfit during the Sword and Sorcery episode was pretty cool.
Yeah,
that one was good, and I liked everybody's clown was so good too.
Yeah, clown was really great.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna make that an annual event, the clown show.
Yeah, annual clown party.
Hell yeah!
You got to be there, Michael.
Okay.
You got to be goofy.
Just bring a clown nose. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got a few months to work on it. Well, I forget when we did it. I think we did it in October. I think
we may have.
Hi, Anthony.
Hello, Mr. John Reddy.
Yeah, I am not Anthony.
Sorry.
Well, we figured it was the time for him to show up.
Yeah. It just was programmed in my head to have him come on.
Actually, when Michael showed up, that was the first thing that popped in my head when I saw somebody appear.
Yeah, same. It's like Pavlov's dog.
We expected. I'm good and everything,
So I was glad Tommy brought up Obsession. That this was so I went and saw 4 movies the other day.
Yeah, after you told me about it, that one sounds so good.
Same.
Yeah, so I saw Passenger, which is fine. It's a forgettable horror movie. It's fine. It's fine. It's not bad. It's fine. I saw Corporate Retreat, which I did like as well, which is about, so it's like they send all these office workers on a corporate retreat, and the guy running it, the first thing he has is one of them has to sacrifice a heart. So they have to pick one of the people to sacrifice their heart. And excuse me, it progressively gets worse from there.
Well, I don't see how it could get too much worse than that. That sounds
bad. So that was good.
Giving
and I saw
is a pretty big move, I think.
yeah. Well, just one of them.
Okay.
Some of the other things they all have to do. God is not a horror movie per se, but a great movie. It starts off, this guy burns his wife and his 2 daughters, and then it fast forwards 20 years later, and the 2 daughters are now adults. They find out the mom lived, and the one sister, they're twins. One sister's face is all burnt, the other one, her arm's burnt. They meet the mom, who's completely burned in bed. She pulls up her covers to show how bad it is. You don't see it, but they give you the impression that she's, and she's dying. This is a step of the movie. And she says, you have to promise me, you have to find your dad and make him dead. So it's a movie, revenge movie. It is great. Yeah. I think you would like it a lot, Tara. It's very grindhousey.
What's it called?
Is God Is, which is a weird title, but it's really good.
That sounds right up my alley.
I saw the commercial for it. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And then Obsession, which it was so good. It was so good.
It was sold out. I couldn't even get into it.
Yeah, and it's the second week, so it's really cool to see a movie pick up an audience instead of lose an audience. Word of mouth.
That hasn't happened in a while, huh?
No, it's a classic monkey paw kind of deal. A kid gets I say kid, he's in his 20s, gets a wish. He just buys this little store thing, the Will o' the Wish, for it's $5. He wishes that the girl he likes would love him more than anybody on earth, breaks the thing. The wish comes true. This is the setup of the movie. I'm not spoiling it, but that might not be all you wish for. You know what I'm saying? It might not really be what you want.
Goes wrong.
Yes.
Hey, everybody, Tara.
Hey, Mr. Charles.
There's Anthony.
What's up? How you doing?
All is well. Did you see Mando?
Next week.
I loved it.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Troy and I went to see the Mandalorian and Grogu. I keep calling him Grogu, but he's Grogu, I believe.
Grogu.
Mando and Guru.
fantastic. It's I think it's up there with my top 2 or 3 modern Star Wars movies.
Next year we're getting Starfighter.
Really?
Yep. Star Wars Starfighter with Mia Goth, Aaron Pierre, and Amy Adams.
Lots of monsters in Mandalorian and Grogu. I'm
doing good. I'm getting ready for some of Anthony Chabot. They should have a Chabot Fest.
Every day is Chabot Fest.
So the idea of Chabot Fest is to help with my book, my memoirs.
Right.
So I'm doing good in everything.
Charlie and I, every weekend, we have a
Dave Deadman wants to know if you're in the sauna.
And I watched Maniac last night.
Oh, Maniac was the best. Yeah.
Maniac was a good movie. What?
I think it was the original one, Neil.
Oh, wow.
The original one.
I'm a huge fan of Maniac.
So I'm doing good in everything.
Too. Did you see the remake, Anthony? It's good too.
No, I haven't seen the remake. I gotta see the remake. So I'm doing good. I got lots of movies I gotta watch.
You know what I'm watching tonight?
What?
Saw 1. I've never seen it.
Saw 1 was good. I recently watched DVD.
I haven't seen it.
I'm doing good in everything. I had a good Memorial Day. I went to my Liberty game.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did they win?
No, they didn't win. They lost.
That sucks.
Damn, Anthony. Did you get out there and play with them?
No, I had hamburgers, French fries, meatballs.
Ooh.
Meatballs. Nice.
Wow, hamburgers and meatballs.
Yeah.
Meatballs.
It was great. It was great seeing the Liberty game. I might be going to another one next month, but we'll have to wait and see.
Hell yeah.
Sounds pretty sweet. I could go for some meatballs. Me and Petrelli will get some spicy meatballs.
Yeah.
Hey.
Some meatballs.
Hell yeah.
So I'm good. I'm good in everything.
Oh yeah, that's good. Anthony's good in everything. That should be the shirt.
Good in
I'm
everything.
good in everything.
Yeah.
Anthony Shobo.
I love that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm wearing my Top Gun shirt.
Nice.
We can't tell.
That's
You're
cool.
all like you're in a haze there.
This is my sauna bath.
You don't have any zombie pirates coming in after you, do you?
No.
All right.
So they should be a Chabot Fest focusing on the benefits will go to my book.
Hell
Hell
yeah.
yeah, I like that. All the benefit, all the proceeds go to you.
Yep. I'll
That's
move on
the
my
best
book and
part.
for my biopic.
That's my charity. All the proceeds go to me.
Yeah. Around New York. I can't wait for Vampire Lestat next week.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Vampire Lestat. All right.
And he's out.
Botfest.
He's good in everything.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the
old In and
Tales
Out.
from the Crypt show is streaming on a Shudder
on-
and AMC
on
Plus.
Shudder, yeah.
But I have to
That's
say, the
awesome.
AMC Plus, the old Tales from the Crypt show, it's streaming on Shudder and AMC Plus. But I have to say, AMC Plus really sucks because it doesn't work half the time. Yeah, it says, "Oh, we can't play this video this time," so it doesn't work half the time. But I get it included with my Spectrum cable, so.
It's a pretty good channel though. They do have a lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, I like AMC, but their app sucks.
I didn't know.
They need to do better on that one.
I have
Yeah,
all
I'm a
the
fan.
Tales from the Crypt on DVD, and like every
They're the
4
best.
years, I'll just turn it on and just watch all of them. So it's like kind of soothing for some reason.
Oh yeah. Especially those real early
Yeah, I like
ones,
those.
like The Man Who Was Death and stuff. I
Yeah.
love that one. So good.
And then also, I got really into Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Nice. There's some great ones of those.
Cool.
Really, some of them are really edgy.
Mhm.
Did you ever see the one with Peter Lorre? It's like my favorite one. It's so good.
Okay,
I can't remember the episode title, but it's him and Steve McQueen, and it's like the
cool.
coolest fucking episode. It's just awesome.
Peter Lorre's one of my favorite actors.
He's great because he's old and kind of creepy at the time, like. Although Lorre was one of those guys, like I think he was old when he was 30. He
No,
looked,
actually, if you
like he
see
was
him young, like a Maltese Falcon, he's like.
Oh yeah, then he's awesome.
Yeah.
he's all dapper and everything, like in Casablanca too, you know. But he's a guy, like, he lived a pretty hard life. He was I always remember, like, you know, him and Bogart, and Bogart had the famous quote, like, he and Peter were always 2 drinks ahead of everybody else. That was the problem. The rest of the world had to catch up. They were 2 drinks behind.
Yeah, Night Gallery's a good one too.
Yeah, Night Gallery's great.
I've never seen Night Gallery. I've heard a lot about it. And I need to...
yeah, it's good. The guy from Twilight Zone is the host, Rod Serling.
Yep.
And so it starts with like a painting, and then it tells us, a story about the painting. They're good.
It was cool. A lot of those,
I think it's an underrated series.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, people, just because it's old doesn't mean that it can't get edgy or weird or
something. Oh yeah. A lot of 70s stuff is very edgy, I would say.
Yeah, more edgy than today for sure. Where I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, you should see Obsession. It's not a feel-good movie. It's got a really dark ending. And then when I found out that the guy made it, like Tommy was saying, is a YouTube creator. It's also inspirational. I was like, hell yeah, this guy made this big movie. Maybe we can do the same.
Hell yeah. Why not?
So yeah, Tara, I'm going to help Tara. No, I'm going to not help her write it, but I'm going to help her advice on writing her first short film.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think the concept is fun, but it's my first, so it'll take a lot of work, to make sure it doesn't suck ass,
No, it'll be fun. This is what we want to do here on Without Your Head, is start making Without Your Head shorts.
Mm-hmm. So and then we can show them on the show.
Yeah, we'll have them on the website. We'll on the YouTube. We'll show them here on the show. It'll be fun. So I wrote one for it's kind of a prelude to Arbor Day. It's about the characters, Steve and his pals from Arbor Day, and we hope to. I think we'll film it this summer. It'll probably take you 2 days to shoot it, I think.
Hell yeah!
But I write some shorts. So Arbor Day, we are gonna. So as I mentioned before, Arbor Day is gonna be now in the spring. I'm sorry, I always postpone it, but it's gonna work out for the best. I have someone actually. I can't give all the details yet, but someone is now helping out with some of the effects, which I'm very excited about, to make some of the creatures.
Effects.
Sunflower Dragon's going to come out and help us make it, and she may be one of the cultists that Tara leads. That'll be fun. Ooh. But the big thing why we had to postpone it is I don't know if I'm supposed to give it all the details yet, but I will be spending the whole month of December. I'm going to be leaving the end of November, and I won't be back until the beginning of January. I'll be in Austria for over a month, and that's very exciting. It's a huge opportunity.
Awesome. A month?
A whole month. So
Scheiße.
I'll give you all the details off there. I don't think I'm supposed to technically give all the details yet. So it's very exciting though. It's a big opportunity. It's kind of overwhelming. So
it's very mysterious opportunity.
Cool.
Yeah. So it kind of made like the idea of getting the shooting Arbor Day in the fall and then like getting ready right away for that. It seemed a little too much for me, all at the same time. So, I think so at the beginning of the year, we're going to launch a campaign and film it in the spring. And we're going to spend the next few months here in pre-production. So we're going to start doing some meetings and going over the script, and it'll be good stuff. I'm excited.
Going to be pretty kick-ass.
Oh, yeah.
Stars the three of us here at the top, me, Troy, and Tara, and a bunch of other cool people, and some of our horror friends like Paul Ehlers.
Nothing but cool people.
Yeah, Madman Mars. Dan Yeager from Texas Chainsaw 3D is the voice of a character, so it'll be pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
I just love playing villains.
So Bubba, yeah, so the one issue is if we started collecting now, we'd have to defer the money till next year. So we're going to launch the actual campaign in January. I will actually put up a thing for donations if anyone wants to donate to the Puppet Fund. to actually make some stuff, either puppets and some stuff
That
Troy's
sounds
creating and another person involved that will be creating. So we might have something like that. But the actual Indiegogo will launch at the beginning of the year. But we would happy to accept anything right now to just help pay for some of the materials to make some more stuff. And Master Zog will be also in another movie in September.
That's awesome.
So.
Cool.
I like this branching out thing.
Yeah.
And shout out to Dave Deadman, because he's right. Like, that episode was The Man from the South is the one with McQueen and Peter Lorre. And the craziest thing about it is Ron Dahl, the guy that made Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, he wrote the story.
Raul, it's not Ron, is it? It's Roald Dahl.
Yeah, Roald Dahl.
Isn't that Raul?
Roll.
I never met him. Don't know how it's pronounced.
Yeah. I thought you said Ron.
No.
Did you ever read his books, The Twits?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I've never read the Twits, but I've read like James and Giant Peach and
the BFG. I remember
BFG.
was one
I
of your
love.
favorites. Yeah.
They read
He wrote Willy Wonka, right?
Yeah.
Witches.
They've retroactively
yeah.
rewritten a lot of
Witches
his
is so
stuff
good.
because they like took out him calling any of the characters calling people fat and ugly and.
Yeah, because no kids ever do that, you know.
And it's like
Well,
usually like the
They do that now, though.
Bubba, you're the man. We love you, Bubba.
Yes, Bubba, thank you so much. You're so nice.
Who here pictures Bubba Dudley when you guys say Bubba? Do you picture Bubba Dudley too?
Well, he's not nice at all, Bubba Dudley.
No.
No, he's not a
Wait,
good guy.
did you say that? What did that comment say? That Roald Dahl used to be a spy? What did that comment say?
For the
Wasn't he
CIA.
in the CIA or something?
Oh.
Pretty sure he used to be a spy.
I didn't
Pretty
know.
wild if true.
Yeah.
Swimming too.
I mean,
Yeah.
Crowley.
I know we're not supposed to talk about, but Michael Petrelli's in the CIA.
I knew it.
No, I'm not.
I hate to blow
You're
it.
a spy on us. That'd be
If
funny.
I did, I wouldn't be calling in with my real name.
I didn't say you were good at it. I just said you were in it.
The
He's a really
worst spy
bad
in
CIA.
history.
Yeah, it's a really bad one.
That would be awesome to feel that important if the CIA was spying. I'd be like,
Yeah, on the show.
you think I'm that important?
No, it wouldn't. Not right now. You guys don't want that.
Do we? Yeah. So if anyone would like to, here is the Venmo. If you don't have to obviously, but if you would like to on pre-production, there it is.
We have a lot of butt plugs to buy.
Hell yeah. We're gonna make Arbor Day butt plugs for the.
Just kidding.
Okay, but
Yeah,
what about
just-
for the movie?
Just kidding.
It'll be like Roots. It'll be good.
Your guys' social life is covered now. What about the movie?
When you said it was like Roots, I was thinking like the miniseries. Like what? Like, the hell's happening here?
Never
But I
say
see Roots of the
and
Tree.
butt plug
Roots
in
of the
the
Tree.
same
I was like, okay.
I love that.
Never
Like
say
that-
root
that's
and
not
butt
real-
plug in the same sentence.
No.
I didn't really think of Arbor Day as the modern day Roots, but I
It could be. Give it some time.
Whoa. Dave
We
Deadman said he was sent to DC as a British spy in 1942.
Wow.
Oh. I didn't know that.
No.
I
Send
wonder
me
if
a link.
there's documentaries on it. I want to see that.
Oh, yeah. I bet that would be pretty wild.
Whoa. All right, sorry. I just
No. You're
I'm gonna
good. You're all good.
get into this now.
We do have some trailers if you would like to watch some new trailers.
Yeah.
New trailers?
Yes. Give me one. Having some technical difficulties. Just give me 1 second.
I'm just kidding.
All right, here we go. These are some trailers that were sent in from various folks. You know what? I'm having some problems. I don't know if we're going to be able to play these. They're kind of freezing up on
trailers for next time. No worries.
Next time we'll have double trailers.
Next time.
Double the trailers, double the
Without
fun.
your head.
Double trailers. And everyone better be drinking a smoothie. Oh no, Neil froze again.
Nope.
Oh, no, he's unfrozen now.
We thawed him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're good.
Should I attempt these
Yeah.
trailers? Let's attempt them and see what happens.
All right. Give it the old.
If I
without
freeze
your head
up
try.
and I don't thaw out, we are blaming Michael Petrelli.
We're going to blame Michael Petrelli.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got broad shoulders. He can
No,
take
we
it.
love Michael here. We're just
He's with the CIA.
That's it.
The betrayer.
Just kidding.
Is that even working? What the hell is happening?
It's always innocent looking ones.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there it goes.
Nope.
All right. Here we go.
The double wide is closed.
Is that even working? This is Colony.
오늘 실험을 하려고 합니다. 아, 실험이 아니라 테러.
Wow, this looks busy.
새로운 인류의 탄생.
Yeah, this is the one I'm looking forward to.
Oh.
지금 무슨 짓 하는 거야? 더 잡아.
Whoa. That looks good.
Yep.
I will be watching that.
Yeah, Colony I'm into.
Yep. And that one's going to be on what?
That
On,
one looks good to me.
On someplace.
My wife said,
Somewhere.
if you win, we'll
Was
fly
it?
to Asia. If
We
I
don't
win,
want
we'll
this
fly to
stupid
Paris.
ad. What the hell's happening?
I bet you won't get toned with just.
Who the hell's that guy? Get this guy off my screen.
He looks like AI.
Got too many abs, that guy.
Yeah, there's too many. He's got like
Yeah,
a
he does.
8-pack.
Yep.
And it's completely froze up my laptop here.
Oh no, that's okay. We could save the rest of the trailers for next time.
Yep.
Then we'll have
Yeah,
double.
I actually cannot turn it off. It's not. It's hold on a second.
Control Alt Delete.
Oh, there you go, Chief. I think you are on.
I'm gonna have to give you. You know what? I can't do it right now, but one of these days I have to give you guys some control over this.
I can't be trusted with control.
I can control. Yeah, give me control. I just start playing horrible stuff unrelated.
She has the power.
Oh no.
I get too drunk on power, so I can't be trusted.
That's okay. I understand.
Hey, now there's two of me here.
Oh,
Multiple Nasty Neals.
Whoops.
It's just
twin meals.
Yeah. All right. How do I kick myself out of here?
Oh, but I
Oh, now you're unfroze.
on the other one
You're
now.
unfroze.
Now's the
The first
time
one.
you
Oh
do
no,
dad
you
jokes.
froze again.
No, you froze again. Yeah.
I'm trying to kick myself out, but
You
it's no.
did it.
It's I think we did it. All right.
You have the power now.
The power.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back momentarily.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
What the hell I'm talking about?
What do you have to tell?
Go see Mandalorian. I really enjoyed it.
Is it like in theaters?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
What's it
it's in
about?
theaters.
Out last week, and so even if you haven't caught up on like the Disney show, you could still watch it and enjoy it. And Pedro Pascal bringing a little kid doing stuff. It's the perfect perfect thing in any movie or show. It just works.
Is it bloody?
Yeah.
It's got some cool
No,
monsters,
not really.
a lot of kills, a lot of people getting blasted and things. A lot of people on fire.
I could watch.
But you got Muppets in it, Grogu and a lot of the different things. And then you even have some stop motion animation, like just an all around cool movie. Like you're looking for a fun Star Wars flick, it's the one.
Okay, I'll check it out. So I gotta watch Mandalorian tonight. I'm watching Saw 1.
Nice.
And then I'm just gonna watch all the Saw movies every night till I'm done.
Oh, I'm liking it.
And then
I've never seen them either.
I'm not a huge fan.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I've never seen them. I remember when they came out, they were really popular, but I don't know why. I just never saw them.
Same. It was like no reason. Like I don't know why I've never seen them, but I just haven't.
Yeah, I think Danny Glover's in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Carrie.
Yeah, I remember.
Wow. Wait, wasn't the guy from Princess Bride in it too?
Yeah, Carrie Ewells. Yep.
That's really unique.
Okay, cool.
Wasn't it based off of like a short film that James Wan made?
Oh, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I believe, and please anyone out there correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that it was originally a short film he made on like a lower budget, and then he like sent it to festivals and stuff, and then he got funding to make the movie. So that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
A short
that's cool.
Short films,
Yeah, once you guys watch it, then give us your takes, because I think Neil likes it much more than I do.
Okay, I'll let you know what we think of it.
With Obsession?
No, with Saw.
The Saw movies.
I reverted.
I was surprised the Obsession movie was sold out. I was surprised. It's been a long time since I couldn't get into a movie.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't see that
So
often
it's been
around
pretty good.
here.
Yeah, I went to see the Star Wars movie, and then after I said, "Oh, let me go see Obsession." I have time, but it was sold out.
Damn.
Is that only at like AMC theaters, or is it everywhere?
Oh no, it was a Regal theater, but it was like a discount day. It was like $6.99 or something that day. So
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's pretty unique, and that's a good sign. That like
like even the front row, every seat sold.
Yeah, you don't see that very often.
Yes.
Nope. He's returned.
Hello. He's returned.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Welcome back.
We'll have to figure out a new way to do the trailers. It's messing up my laptop at the moment.
No worries.
All right. So what were you guys talking about? I'm sorry to interrupt.
We're talking about you.
What? Hopefully it was all good.
We're kicking you off the show.
Whoa, damn it. Are you replacing me with a Chobo?
We are. He's just going to come in for like 28
The new
seconds.
name of the show is
and
It's Good.
then
I'm good in everything podcast. Yeah.
It's what was he calling it? The Showbo Fest. It's going to be the Showbo Fest.
Yeah, this show, we're going to change the name, actually, of the whole show to Showboat Fest.
Yeah.
Damn. Without your Nasty Neal. It'll be the new name.
Exactly.
This all
Without
happened
your host.
on.
It's going to turn into the Showbo Feast. We're all going to go to Wendy's for the Wendy's Day.
Can you say anything about the short you're writing, Tara? Or do you want to keep it all under wraps?
I have to develop it more. I mean, like the whole plot and characters are done. But
You can just give us the basic idea if you want. You don't have to.
Oh no, I'd love to. I'd love to. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, I will. So it's like basically about this lady who's like hit this like midpoint of her life. She's like getting a divorce and her daughter's off to college. And so her friend comes back and is like looking all fresh and vibrant. She's like, "What did you do?" And she's like, "Oh, I hired this service and they put you through 5 tasks and it's meant to like restart your life." And so she gives her the card, she calls the number, she like pays the fee, and then a clown shows up to her door and forces her to do 5 tasks that will like recharge her life basically. But of course it's like kind of a horror comedy, you know, where it's not going to be fun. And I won't say the ending, but she just like goes through these tasks with this insane clown to reinvigorate her life.
All right, I'm really into this. I like it.
So that's what it's about. And like, you never know what the next task is going to be because it's always something absolutely freaking horrible.
Are you going to be in it too?
Maybe. Maybe.
As the woman or the clown, or don't you want to say?
Well, both.
I shall not say.
All right. Well, all right. I'm very excited.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be really fun.
Yeah. No, I love it. Yeah.
Cool.
And Troy will be in mine, obviously, but maybe Troy can rate something as well.
One never knows.
One never knows what the Troy doth do.
It's true. Very rarely do I know. So,
would you accept something from me?
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah, we could show.
I remember, of course, yeah. I remember Neil made me a mod for something without your head related back in the day. I abused the power immediately.
That's the way to do it.
I actually thought Dave was one of the moderators here, but
just abuse the power immediately.
Yeah, abuse of power. That used to be one of the people in the chat too. Abuse of power.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Oh wow, we haven't heard from Christian for a while. Christian Cortez. He's a good man.
Yep.
Hey.
Five you.
Yeah.
High five and hello.
Yeah. So I'm sorry about the trailers not working out, but we'll get them worked out.
Oh, no worries. We talked about Mando while you were gone.
Oh,
And
nice.
about
Yeah.
Saw.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. The Blue Diamond, which is a new Barbara Crampton movie, is the trailer's
that's cool.
coming out. They sent me the trailer. I would
Oh,
play it
nice.
here, but I'm afraid self-destruct or something. But
That's all right.
I'll play that next week.
The last movie I saw her in was Suitable Flesh with Heather Graham. I like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good movie.
That was a good
I'm a
one.
big fan.
Yeah,
and
I
I really like that. And I think you see this in horror, honestly, more than a lot of other genres, where the veteran actresses, continue to get work, which is nice.
Yep. Always so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's cool. She's great.
Oh yeah.
Always the best.
And she's in the best severed head male on female oral sex scene ever in a film.
Agreed.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah. I know it's a big list.
On my top 13, I think she was she made it to number 1 on that one.
Oh really? Wow. All right.
Wow.
Oh,
I see she's always hanging out with Ryan Nemeth, the TNA wrestler. I guess he's like her personal trainer or something.
Oh really?
No kidding. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Joe Lynch, yeah, you know what's cool? Joe Lynch was on the show. One of our first guests, but it was like 2007 or something, and he went on to be a pretty big director in the horror genre. So good for him. So now he's way too big to talk to us, but back in the day, he talked.
Back when he was slumming it.
Yeah. Now I ask him, and I just get no reply. But in fact, this goes back so far, Tara. Me and Joe Lynch were MySpace friends.
Oh.
That's how that interview came about. Actually, a lot of the old several of the old interviews, Joe Lynch, Adam Green, Mike Mendez, probably some other ones. came about because of MySpace.
Nice.
That's fun.
And Tom Matthews. Go on, sorry, Tara.
Oh no, I was gonna say you never know when all the social media we have now will be replaced just by some other social media, like
Yeah.
right?
That's why I'm really active on my Grindr.
Sometimes last night I heard.
Yeah, that's where I met Joe Reddy here.
Oh, you weren't supposed to tell.
Yeah.
It'd be so funny if that was true.
Yeah, funny.
Tom Matthews, who was in Jason Lives, he played Tommy Jarvis. At the time, he really wasn't doing interviews. He has since, but I think it was either the first podcast or one of the first podcast interviews he did, and it came about because we played Farmville together on Facebook. we were Farmville neighbors, and remember Farmville when it was real big? You'd go and you'd water your friends crops.
I never played it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm super cool, unlike a lot of people.
You're right.
All the cool kids play Farmville.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever happened to Farmville? Imagine if
I don't know.
If you raised all your crops, now it's all gone. Man. I wonder if I could visit my Farmville. Probably all my crops are dead because I haven't watered them in 10 years. So
there's been a plague on everything since you've been gone.
Because your crops would die if you didn't water them. So
oh no.
That was a great interview, though. I remember it with Tom Matthews.
Yeah. We even talked about Farmville. It had a part in it because I brought up that that's how the interview came about because we were Farmville neighbors.
That's fun.
Yeah. I remember you asked him if he ever talked to Corey Feldman that they played the same character, and he said no, even though he's met him a bunch of times.
Yeah. Return of the Living Dead. Well, I want to go. No spoilers because we're on our zombie. So on the zombie show, we're gonna dress the zombies, do trivia. We like to do our top list. Should we do our favorite zombie movies or should we do our favorite zombies from a movie?
Ooh.
Let's do both. We don't do both.
Both. All right. I like it.
I agree.
Because some of my favorite zombies might not be from my favorite zombie movie.
I already know who my favorite zombie is, but I'm going to save it for the show.
All right.
It's
not also debate what is a zombie because there's a debate,
Yeah.
30 days later is not zombies or infected. But at the same time, a lot of zombie movies are about infected people that become zombies. So when does one become a zombie?
There was some zombie show on Sci-Fi Channel with CM Punk that I didn't really like. I thought it was kind of lame, where they just came back from the dead, but they were like regular people.
I don't think I ever saw that one.
It's like, hey,
it only lasted one
zombie. Season. You're like, oh yeah, that does eat your brain? Nah, he's just a guy. I'm like, oh okay. That doesn't sound very thrilling,
right? Hey man, can I eat your brain?
I had an idea like that where it was levels.
Levels of zombies?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Which level would Tara be, do you think?
At least 2.
So you're going all out. Tara's painting her whole body green.
All out.
She's prepared.
I'm really excited about this.
I'll have brains.
Bubba, Return of the Living Dead 3 is a guilty pleasure. I wouldn't even say it's a guilty. I think it's
a
genuinely good movie.
4 and 5 are very good, but I like 3.
Yeah, after 3, they're all pretty rotten. But
yeah, aren't they doing?
I used to 2 as a kid, but 2's not particularly good either. But
it's just comedy, pretty much.
Yeah, it's even got a lot of the cast from the original one. But I liked it as a kid, but I watch it now and it's not even funny comedy. It's just kind of dumb. You know what I mean? But,
some of the parts made me laugh.
Yeah, there's good zombies in it, like the Michael Jackson zombie and stuff. But the original one, I think, is fantastic. The original Return of the Living Dead.
Well, I'm excited for that show.
Yeah.
They're remaking one, or they're doing 2 remakes, huh? Because somebody got the rights.
I don't know if any of them are actually happening because, like, they talk about them, but from understanding, a lot of the original cast are suing the other guy that's making it, making the other one. He doesn't really have the rights. He's saying he does.
My dogs keep making a racket, so I'm gonna go check that out. So I may be back, and I may not.
All right.
I better hop too.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, and we will be back next week with a bunch of trailers. We'll talk horror. We'll be here with Christopher Bickle, and hit the like button, subscribe. If you would like to help out, you can. There's the Venmo link there, and a bunch of new interviews are going to be popping up because I've been recording a bunch of things. A bunch of interviews will be popping up in early June for Furious, which if you're a martial arts fan, if you're a kung fu movie fan, this is one of the best kung fu movies I've ever seen. It's fantastic. Really? Yeah. And so
Cool.
it's lucky enough to interview a bunch of the producer, the main star, and 2 of the co-stars. It's really cool. I also interviewed an actor from The Burrows, which is a new show on Netflix. Maybe we could watch. You know, there's some new series out there. I don't know if we all have Netflix or not. Maybe we could watch the first episode and review it on the show. Vampire Lestat's starting. That looks really cool. So hit the like button, subscribe, and share this out. And until next time, that was Terrible Troy. This is Nasty Neal.
Hutchison. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm Tara Hutchison.
Michael Petrelli.
John
Michael Petrelli.
And this is without
your
head.
Yay.